Hi guys, welcome to Painting with me. Today we are going to paint the game. I'm actually gonna pick an orange, but we're gonna paint the game the medium, which is graphically a fantastic game. Story wise, it's a huge fantastic game. Um, it has their shortcomings, which unfortunately put me off quite a lot in this game. But basically, you start out. You how to explain it? You are a female uh, named Marianne, and the game basically starts with your dad dying or your adoptive dad dying. Um, so you start with trying to arrange his funeral so that he can actually get rest or whatever. And then when he dies, you get a phone call basically who says that, oh, you need to get to this place here because it's very important. And then so you go to a place called Neva, and here you will discover what happened at Neva, which is basically a hotel for government employees or something like that in very olden day. The thing with this place is, or the thing with this game is that you, as this character, you have the power. If this is your screen, at some point your character or your screen will be divided in two, and in one side you will have the real world. I'm supposed to say real, and then in the other side it's the ghost world. Well, I don't know if you call it ghost world, but some kind of alternate reality. And then throughout this game, not completely all the time, but there are some situations where you play in this split screen, which is really cool, really amazing. They've done a really good job with this because there are some things in one world that is not there in the other, or vice versa. And then you need to cooperate between these two worlds to be able to proceed in a lot of situations, which is really cool, really amazing, really awesome mechanics. Um, and then throughout the game, there's also have a power to kind of sense. You're standing in a room here, and then you use your light power, and then you will have like an aura around you where you can see certain objects, so they will light up certain objects that you can interact with. That has, for example, an echo, or it has something that can help you pick up to be able to proceed further. There's also a situation where you can take your ghost self and like transfer it out of your body. So you as person, you the real one, you will just stand still and do nothing. And then your ghost self will go around and do whatever they want to do. So the problem with that is that you cannot be outside of your body for too long, because then you will kind of fade away, and so you have to go back into your body and yada yada yada. But it's a really cool mechanics where, as you need to coordinate between these two worlds, the real one, the ghost one, and then do the out of body situation. That is really really cool. And I think that there's really cool mechanics with that. But you have very limited amount of um, actual mechanics to use. For example, you have one button to do the aura thing with the in the real world, and then you have like one button to do like a pulse, like an EMP pulse in this ghost worlds and such. So it's not that much, but it's really cool to play through this, and there's a lot of really good story points in this game. And it's unfortunately what happens is that there are also a lot of very long cutscenes, so it does kind of take away a little bit from the gaming experience itself, and becomes more of a viewing experience, which is not always that bad because the story is really, really, really rich. But in my opinion, it took away some of my gaming experience because I really enjoyed playing with these two worlds and have them cooperate and do that. And I think that they've done a lot of good decisions with how to play that way, which I felt like worked really, really well. Also in the aura, you can see some ghost trails sometimes, so you will be able to use that to be able to know where to go in the game, which is also quite nice. So it doesn't technically hand feeds you, but it helps you to get through the game. One other thing that I realized now that I forgot to take up when I was reviewing this one is that there are situations where there's a lot of story and really cool gameplay in this one, but there's also a lot. Like there's a lot of things. Like you in one point you save two ghosts and you get to know so much about these ghosts and then they're there for 10 minutes and that's it. So there are I love that there's so much story behind it, but it's also quite a lot of story and quite a lot of story about everyone and everything. Like, so it at some point it also becomes a little bit too much. But it's not that negative, if that makes sense. It's cool that they have so much story, but it's not. It might be a little bit too much, and so it's really difficult. It really hurts me, guys. It really hurts me to say that this game actually got a 6 out of 10 from me. Because it is really cool. Like the gameplay with the two worlds, I love that. That is really cool. The story is really deep and has a lot of aspects to it. But as there's so much to this story, and sometimes there are so many cutscenes that it becomes more of a viewing experience than a gaming experience. And despite that they have this cool way of playing with the split screen, the mechanics itself, like you don't do much. You have very limited possibilities to actually interact. So it becomes very much walking simulator in some points, which is not very fun. So it pains me because the developers and the story, the people have written the story has done a huge and amazing job. And that's why it pains me so much to just give it a 6 out of 10, but I can't give it more because I liked watching it, but I want more from a game, if that makes sense. But it's at the same time I do recommend this because it's really cool to play it. So as much as I give it a low score, I do recommend this a lot because it is cool and it is a good story to it. So I hope that makes up a little bit of it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Thank you so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate that. And as usual, we're gonna end up with a very awkward dance. I'll see you. Bye!